Welcome to the Let's Get Cozy Book Club podcast. This week we're discussing our thoughts on All In, an autobiography by Billie Jean King. So grab a blanket, a warm beverage, and cozy up.
Woo! I have a warm blanket because it is cold here.
I do too. I also have
how
a warm
cold
blanket.
is it there right now?
Negative.
With the windshield, it's negative still.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, ew. It's like 45 here. 45, 50. So
Is it like rainy though?
it was like a little windy today.
Have
Slight
you learned
drizzle.
Celsius yet?
No. I just say,
You do times 2 plus 30, and that's more or less correct.
okay, times 2 plus 30. Got it. Interesting.
It's like, and then that, because like usually like sometimes on like the pharmacy signs, right, it says like 15, and you're like, what the heck does that mean? Times 2 plus 30, and you're like, oh, okay, that's like, 60-ish.
The more you know.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, yeah, it's snowing here. We've got several inches of snow.
Oh. Oh, yeah, I see it now.
Mhm.
It is not snowing here, so.
It's winter wonderland. Yes. Yes. But I've been embracing the winter. Went to the Bears game last weekend, which was,
How was that?
outside. It was so much fun.
Yeah?
Absolute blast. Yes. Went with my friend Grace and a couple of her friends from high school, and we had an amazing time. Super fun. We like tailgated in the parking lot and went in. They lost in overtime, which was a big bummer, but it was super fun. It was my first Bears game.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is she like a Bears fan, or did her like parents have tickets, or how did?
Yeah, our parents have season tickets.
Oh.
So,
Oh, they're
yeah,
big
and it was
fans.
too cold. They didn't want to go. It was so cold. I wore 3 pairs of pants. And like boots, and
It was
like
snowing.
yeah, it was snowing the whole time too. And I wore like 5 shirts and like a jacket and then my winter coat over it and 2 hats. Yeah. So we were bundled up. It was fun.
That's hilarious.
It was very fun.
What else have you been up to?
Not much. I've just been kind of hunkering down, watched a lot of TV. I watched The People We Meet on Vacation.
How was it?
It was okay. I think it was good. I liked the main actress. She was good. I forget her name. I think it was her first big movie. She was in a show before. But I didn't read the book. I've read a couple other Emily Henry books.
Mm-hmm.
This one I hadn't read. And I was like, I don't know if I'll ever read it, so I'll watch the movie. And it was good. It was cute.
Yeah.
I don't
I've read
remember the book.
It was like good enough. It was just
What was
like
the-
easy romance.
I know,
They were
but like all our books
friends.
kind of like all the same, so like
Yeah,
I can't really like.
friends to lovers. So they were like, opposite, kind of like opposites attract, friends to lovers. Like
Was she,
they
like-
went to the same college.
Were they? Is she the
A
writer in the
travel
house?
vlogger? Yeah, something like that.
No, that was a different book, Lies. I read that
Oh.
one too. That's I forget it, My Happy Place or whatever. Yeah, this one was just like they would go on vacation once a week every summer
Oh yeah,
together.
once a year. Yeah. They
Yeah.
would meet each other in random places and like.
Yeah, once a year.
But
Every
she
summer.
was like the travel vlogger, right?
Yes.
Is that her?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. She was like a travel vlogger living in New York, but like was never home. And then like he was her home.
Oh,
Yeah.
cute.
So yeah, it was cute. That's all I've been up to. Staying inside. What about you two? Let's go Liza first, because Lily's got way more.
Yeah.
interesting stuff to say.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say I got
Liza, what you
questions
been
for
up
her
to?
too. I've been doing a lot of bookish things. I went to a couple book clubs, a historical romance book club, which was cool because the author
Interesting.
came and we got to ask her questions.
Fun.
And then a romantasy book club, which I'm excited for Lydia's book pick later on today because
Mm.
I might be reading it for my book club.
Mm.
Yeah, no, like past couple days I've been under the weather a little bit, so I've been also hunkering down and reading lots of books. So, fun things. Oh, and the exciting thing is parents and we bought tickets to go to London to see Lilli
Woohoo.
in March.
Yes.
So very excited for this.
Very exciting. Yeah.
And Lily, what have you been up to?
Hello.
Not much really. I haven't been up to any. It's my first week in London. Yeah, today marks, I started traveling last Sunday. It's my first week here. I start class Tuesday. London's great. London's fun. I've seen Big Ben. I went to Notting Hill today. That was a good time.
Cute.
Have you seen the movie?
Yeah, I watched it before I came. I didn't really like the movie, but
It's with Hugh Grant, right? I don't remember
Yeah.
what
Those
happened
movies
in it.
don't hold up anymore, I feel like.
no, she was famous and falls in love with him. He's like a bookshop owner in Notting Hill. So I went to see the bookshop, and now it's like a souvenir shop, which is kind of weird. It's not a bookshop anymore.
Yeah.
Um, anyways, Notting Hill was cool. It reminded me of Wicker Park. It's just like vintage shops.
In
That's
Chicago,
like all it
yeah.
is. Yeah, that's like really all it is. It's just a bunch of like shops on the street.
Did you
Just
get
cool.
anything fun?
I got a permanent anklet. Super random.
That
Super
is really random. It's kind of cold too.
I know, it was weird. I put like my foot on a weird stool. It's because it was 15 pounds, and at home it's $90. So I also really wanted one. It was
Great.
yeah, super random. Yeah.
Love that.
But anyways, life is good. I've been booking trips to other places. In 2 weekends I'm going to Stockholm.
Oh, do you have
Fun.
a friend who's staying there, or this is just for
Just
Funsy.
weird whim. I don't know.
Oh,
Does
cool.
anyone know what's in
Whimsy.
Stockholm? Whimsy.
There's salmon. I had a lot of salmon, and
Oh, you've
you
been.
just kind of like walk around. Yeah, it's nice. It's very lovely.
Okay, lovely. Yeah. Stockholm, Edinburgh, we're going to, and Dublin. I'm going to say for St. Patty's. I just booked that too.
And
So
you
it's
have friends
exciting.
there.
Yeah, I have two friends, so I'm gonna stay at the apartment. So that will be fun.
It'll be very fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Got to get some green.
I do for St. Patty's, yeah. I'll be ready. Gosh.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's
Can we
so
do the
fun.
Lily and London questions now?
Yeah.
I've
Did
been
she
so
answer all
excited
of
for this. Been so excited. All right, let us kick off part 2. Lily in London, part 1.
Okay.
What was your? Well, we kind of did that one. What was your first week like?
It's been good. I feel like I've been just doing a lot. Like I said, we saw Big Ben, Notting Hill. We went to Borough Market, which was fun. The British Museum. We saw Buckingham Palace, which was kind of lame, honestly.
Did you see the guards march past, like the whole
No, but we saw them
event?
like marching in place and like chanting. It's just the Buckingham Palace itself. It's kind of like the White House. Like you'd expect it to be like more like grandiose. It's like little. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never toured the White House, but
But
I
like
see what
just
you mean.
seeing it like outside, I don't know. It was just like you like play it up in your head that it's going to be like, "Whoa, I'm going to go to the palace." And it's like, "Oh, there's the palace." I don't know. Yeah, but it's been cool. It's been great.
What's been
Cool.
your favorite thing?
Um it's just fun. I'm having fun doing stuff.
Exploring London.
I've been walking a ton. Like I feel like my first day here I walked 10 miles.
Oh my
I know.
gosh.
Isn't that
Wow.
crazy? Yeah, really went at it. Pub culture, I'm getting into it.
Do you take the tube or no?
I've taken it like twice. Honestly, not really, but I've been doing more walking. Everything's pretty walkable here,
Yeah.
so that's nice.
Cool. What's been
What
the
have you-
least favorite thing?
I've been spending a lot of money, I won't lie. Like first week, it's like, oh, jeez. But I booked a bunch of trips and I just like got stuff for my apartment, which I'll talk about. That's been another low, the apartment. It's not bad. It's fine. I mean, I'm not here a lot. It's just like weirdly quirky. Um,
For example?
like the outlets don't work in my room. The heat doesn't really work in my room. There's like a weird wet spot in the carpet outside the bathroom, and it's like
Just
been
permanently wet.
It's just permanently wet, and it's like growing. I don't know where it's coming from, but like the
Ghost.
kitchen sink won't drain. Like it was like up on the top, and we had to like call the
Ew.
maintenance man. It's working now, but weird. And just like the apartment was dirty when we moved in. There was dirty dishes. You walked in the door and there was like dirty dishes sitting on like the floor in the entrance, and it was like, what? And they gave me like a duvet and pillowcase like in my room already, but there's like hair on it. Like someone's like hair was on it. And I was like, "Oh, that's really really nasty." So I had to buy like a duvet cover. They didn't give me sheets. It's just kind of weird. Like one roommate found like Kleenexes like in her like bed, like stuffed between like the mattress and the wall, which is so gross.
That's disgusting. But that's hilarious. And
It's
that's
hilarious. I mean,
college
it's
for
like
you.
funny. Yeah. It's like funny. I don't know. It reminds me of living in a dorm again. It's pretty much what it is. Yeah. But it's fine. I mean, it's fun. I mean, it's like we're all suffering together, so it's just kind of like a little
Some
Trauma bonding.
camaraderie.
yeah, camaraderie about it. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Cute. Well, you won't be there much, especially when school
No.
starts, so
Yeah, true.
fun.
Yeah.
Okay. How's the food?
The food is fine. I really haven't been eating out. I've just been going, there's an Aldi right by me. But the fun things I have
Nice.
been eating is a sausage roll. That was pretty good. Shout out Dad, he'll love it.
Is it just like a hot dog and a croissant?
No,
Like
no, it's like sausage. It's like sausage you put on pizza in a croissant. And
Oh.
the ends are like kind of burnt. It's like charred. I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. I think adding cheese would make it better, but I think that's just the American in me. Yeah.
Add cheese to everything.
Add cheese to everything, yeah.
Or the Wisconsin way, either.
The Wisconsin way, yeah. Yeah.
All right. Anything else good that you've been eating? How about
I
tea?
got a
Have you been
paste-
drinking tea?
I haven't had any tea. Not a cup of tea. I don't know. It's not a thing. It's really not a thing. I don't
You've been
think
drinking a
I've
lot of
heard-
coffee, I saw.
Instant
pictures of.
coffee. I've been drinking a lot of instant
Ugh.
coffee. Yeah.
How's that?
It's fine. It's really weak, so I kind of been drinking a lot of instant coffee. Yeah.
Maybe you could do like black tea
No, I just
with a little
I'm happy
honey.
with-
No?
No.
Okay.
I'm happy with the instant coffee, so
Okay.
I'm just gonna keep doing that.
Okay.
Cool. Great.
Great.
All right.
Anything
fun.
else you want to share?
The other things are just like the culture shocks. Not even culture shocks. I feel like it's very similar to like the US. It kind of is. There's just like weird like little quirks. Some things like biking culture is def a thing here. Like they won't stop. It's like the taxis. They won't stop. They'll just hit you.
Did
Or
you
like
get
they'll
hit?
no, they'll like scream at you to move out of the way. But it's like funny because they're British. 'Cause they're like,
Can't take them seriously.
yeah. Or it's like the other thing is like so people drive on the other side of the road and when you cross the road you have to like look the other direction. And that's difficult, but it's nice because they have it written on like the sidewalks, like the crosswalks, like which side to like look. Because I'm sure many tourists have like hurt themselves from oncoming traffic. So that's pretty funny. Yeah,
You have to take a picture of that. That's hilarious.
it is hilarious. But yeah, I feel like those are the two big things, honestly. The other ones are pretty tame. Like the eggs being not refrigerated is interesting. But that's like whatever. I don't know. Who cares? That and like Americans are really loud. I think British people are really nice, but I don't know if they really like Americans that much. It's just kind of like weird. Like I don't know. I don't think anyone really likes Americans that much, but yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you'll meet some more Brits at school,
True.
and
True.
you'll have to convince them to like you and Americans.
Yeah. True. In general, I'll put a good word out for Americans.
Thanks, Lil.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, thanks for that segment of Lily in London. Are you ready to talk about the book? I'm ready to talk about the book. I want to talk
Okay,
about the
Lydia
book.
wants to dig into the book.
Yeah. Looks
All
like
right.
we got some comments from other listeners, mom specifically. She finished the book. She said it was a lot. She wasn't sure if it motivated her, but she realized how much BJK did for women and women's sports and the gay community and so much more. And mom would vote for BJK if she ran for office. So,
Yeah, that's fair. And Ellie, for example, did not finish the book. She gave up about halfway. She's like, I lived through this time. None of this is surprising and or all that interesting.
fair enough.
Yeah, I lived through this time.
But then Ellie also said we apparently have an athletic family.
Yeah.
The Pinzac side, I guess.
The Pinsec side. Well, I forgot to ask Dad about Grandpa Bud playing the Chicago Cardinals, but apparently he was a football person for a while. So the Chicago Cardinals were the Bears before the Bears became the Bears. That was not good.
Really?
The Chicago Bears were originally called the Chicago Cardinals
Oh, that's
before they
confusing.
became. Does that make sense? I don't know.
Yeah,
that
that
was my
makes
understanding.
sense.
I don't know.
I'd have to Google it. I don't know. What position?
I forgot to ask Dad, so I don't have any more information on this. And then Uncle John, he was like a tennis superstar. Like he played in college and all that kind of stuff until his knees gave out.
Gosh,
Apparently, tennis is pretty brutal on the body, as we learned about BKJ.
Oh, yeah.
BJK.
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 Yeah, okay, so we do have some athletes in the family. Cool. And Sebastian looked up for us that tennis is very long. Men play best of 5, women play best of 3, but the longest tennis match in history was Wimbledon and John Isner versus Nicholas Mahut. I think I said that right. And it was 11 hours and 5 minutes.
Could you imagine sitting that long to like watch that game?
11 hours. I feel like the players more. I'm more concerned for the players than the people in the stands. But yeah, that's a super long time. So
it is.
That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
And yeah.
And time to get into the book. It is
Yes.
spoiler day.
It is spoiler day.
Yes. If you don't want it spoiled, I would recommend you pause and come back.
Yes.
So.
Okay. Do the summary, Liz. Do the summary.
All right. So Alan traces Billie Jean King's life both on and off the tennis court. The book follows her rise from a working class kid in Long Beach, California, to one of the most dominant tennis players in history, but is less about trophies and more about the victories it's less about the trophies and more about what those victories made possible. King explains how she became increasingly aware of her gender inequality in professional tennis, such as like equal pay, lack of respect, limited opportunities, and how that awareness pushed her into activism, and it even threatened her career at times. She shares a lot about her personal life, particularly her marriage, realization that she was gay, and the fear and fallout of being outed in the 1980s, when it was a time like being openly gay could end her career. So yeah, that is a lot about what happened in this book.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so we kind of left off in the middle of her career. So she was kicking butt, and then she basically, I mean, we get to what is famously now known as like the Battle of the Sexes.
Yes.
Hmm.
So she was number one at the time. This guy, Bobby Riggs, was previously number one at the time. He was like in his 50s though.
He was 55. He played at Wimbledon. I watched the movie last night because she
Really?
mentioned, well, she mentioned, right, that they
The
like
movie,
it
With
was
Emma
made in
yeah.
Stone.
2017.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. It was Steve Carell, and yeah. And so I was like, "Oh, this will probably be really funny." It was like funny for like 5 minutes out of the 2 hours, so I was slightly
Oh.
disappointed. I
And
mean,
Wait,
it's
what's
kind
Emma
of like the
Stone
book that
played,
we read.
yeah,
Billie Jean King, yeah. It's kind of like
yeah.
the book where it's a lot of like, heavy
was the
stuff
movie
about her.
good?
I don't know if anyone needs to watch it if seeing that we've read this book because it's kind of very similar.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I probably could have just watched the movie and not read the book. But
Skipped a
that's
couple
just me.
chapters.
Yeah. Well, I think this is a personal thing and like we can discuss this later, but like autobiography, like I just prefer it in like a documentary form, like a Netflix documentary, and like I'd be good, and like because we could have had like some of like other voices in the conversation, like Elton John, or like
Yeah.
some of like her husband or Alana, that sort of thing, and you get like other perspectives about her, and like that I think is a little bit more interesting and like kind of makes it come to life a bit more. But that's just me.
No, that makes sense. I think
Yeah, that makes
that's an
sense.
interesting point. Yeah, it is like just her perspective of her life. So, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely things that I noticed in the book that she kind of glossed over, that I think would be interesting to hear from other people's perspectives, but we can get into it. But yeah, so the Battle of the Sexes. Liza, you wrote, why is this such a big deal?
I just like I get it, but it's also like
Okay, these were like the times, though,
I know,
right?
I know.
You gotta
I'm
put
like,
yourself in the
yes, I'm
times.
glad I was not alive in these times. Is basically like the moral of the story.
Yeah. So I guess what happened is they asked BJK, like, will you do this? She's like, no, I don't need to do this. Like, I don't need to prove myself to you people. And then so then they asked Margaret to play against Riggs. And she was like, oh, sure. Like, I'll do it. She plays and then
Because
loses
she didn't take it seriously. She
because
didn't
she
like
didn't take it
prepare. She
seriously.
just like thought it was an easy match.
Yes, which
Yeah.
was then known as the Mother's Day Massacre, which is terrible. So then BJK's like, I gotta like do this and win this because like, you know, I
Gotta
don't know.
prove that
I gotta prove it.
Women. Yeah.
that women tennis players are good.
Just as good,
Good.
if not better,
Yeah.
and deserve equal pay and all the things. So she goes out and kicks his ass, like crushes him. And I thought it was great. I knew she
Yeah.
won, but like I liked hearing about it from her
That was
perspective.
one of the more interesting parts of the book, I feel
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Her
And
winning.
like Riggs was like an interesting character.
He was hilarious.
He was super sexist, said like the most disgusting things, and like wore a shirt that like at like a press conference with like the boobs cut out and was like, I think BJK should wear this shirt. And she called him a creep. And then he got like upset about it.
Yeah,
I
that
was
was
like,
weird.
you're such a baby. Like, okay.
And they were
So
friends at the end of the book, which I
yeah,
didn't quite
yeah.
understand. Like, what?
They like I think he evolved after he like had a daughter basically and like a granddaughter. That's what always happens, right? They're like, "Oh, I now have a daughter. Women are people too." So I think that's kind of what happened to him. But yeah, I think like and then that was at that point in the book, that's when she like referred back to the title, which I always like when people do that in like books or movies. You know that like
Oh, like she
moment.
was all in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's like the guy came out and was like, "Do you want to sit on this like throne and like come out like the queen.
Yeah, she was totally into it.
And she was like, "Yep, I'm all in." And I don't know. I just like that part of like movies and books. But that's just me.
No, I do too.
So yeah,
However,
that was an interesting part of the book. I thought it was fun.
I was going to say, however, the movie left out the most interesting part, who was Marilyn. Well, so Marilyn was
Yes.
in the movie, but it portrayed her like very well. Like
Interesting.
Billie Jean and Marilyn like were in a relationship, and like her husband knew, and like it ended off like on a good note, versus like I think what happens right after this, like their relationship very much deteriorates.
Yeah.
I was like, Marilyn is crazy. And should we talk about her?
Yeah.
She made things very interesting, and it was also, I think it kind of highlighted that how much of a priority tennis was in all of like her personal life and her career was over like some of her personal relationships.
Yeah. Yeah, so Marilyn was did we talk about this? I can't remember if we talked about this in the last episode, but so they started dating and they were dating for like a while. But Marilyn was BJK's hairdresser and then became like kind of like her assistant and like would go on tours with them. She was like there during like the Battle of the Sexes like game and stuff. And then BJK was kind of like didn't want to like break up with her because she like was worried about the fallout and like didn't want to handle the confrontation. But she had a, very accurate understanding of what was going to happen when she did break up with her. So Marilyn then goes back to and stays in Billie Jean's and Larry's like Malibu house and is just like living there and like living her life there. And she becomes like an addict and like is like drinking and like doing drugs. And Billie Jean's like, okay, we want to like sell the house. And
Marilyn's basically just squatting. She's not paying rent or anything. She's just living there like for free.
Yeah. And then like Billie Jean like breaks up with her and it's very dramatic. And Marilyn's like, I have all these letters that you wrote to me. Like, these would make a really interesting book. So then like everyone was freaking out and like Marilyn was like blackmailing them. Like she was like, I want the whole house. And then it got really bad. And basically Marilyn then like sued Billie Jean in court. Basically the argument was that like she has rights to part of the house, or at least had the right to live there because of, I forget what the term was, but they were in a relationship.
Mm-hmm. She was dependent.
And so Billie Jean basically gets outed in like the most public way possible. Just awful.
You've been served.
Yeah. And yeah, so that was really terrible. And Billie Jean was also in a relationship with Alana at the time too. It was like a whole mess.
Yeah. Larry was there.
Larry was there. He like knew about it, and was like, supporting her and was like, I still love you. Like love life was an absolute disaster. Yeah. So they go through the lawsuit. So then there's like a public trial about like their relationship and everything that went on. And Billie Jean has like a press conference to like kind of talk about what happened. And she like admits that she was like in a relationship, but she kind of was like, it was just an affair. Like it was a mistake. And like that messaging, I think like she talked about how she didn't love the messaging with that and was still like trying to hide like her, sexual orientation at the time and kind of portrayed it as like a one-time thing. Like this was a mistake, and she and Larry like were still together and like still loved him and everything like that. So yeah, it was pretty rough.
And then the judge rules that Marilyn does not get the house. And so Marilyn
Yeah.
basically just fizzles out and disappears and eventually dies. And
Yeah.
she got like cancer and then like committed
Yeah.
suicide. Anyways, it was not
Not a good
not pretty.
ending for her.
Not a happy ending for Marilyn. And
Yeah.
then yeah, so then but there was a lot of fallout for Billie Jean and Larry because she did lose a lot of sponsors.
Yeah.
Just like tons of money. And so which resulted in her like having to go back on tour. She had planned to retire and like kind of get out
Yeah.
of tennis because like her knee, like her body was not, I mean, she'd been playing for like 20 years or something like that. And her body was like basically destroyed. And she couldn't.
She had to go make some money. Which she had to win then. Like you know, like she had to like keep playing pro and like continue winning tournaments so she could like get prize money because she like wasn't getting sponsorship money now. And they had like a bunch of businesses and like everything going on. Like she and Larry like had so much going on and it was just like woof.
A lot.
Messy.
It was very messy.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about Larry and like
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, there's not a ton to say about him. He was just like very supportive and refused to give her a divorce.
That was kind of weird.
That was weird.
I didn't quite get it.
I didn't get it either. No.
Yeah, it would be interesting, like you said, Liz, to hear his side of the story.
Yeah.
I mean, he was married to one of the most famous athletes at the time. She was bringing in a lot of money, and he was doing really well in business. So that could be part of it.
They had like separate finances for a lot of the time, and like
not for a lot, like not till later. Yeah,
not till later until he made some like very like questionable business decisions.
Yeah, and she was like, "I need my own bank account."
You're losing all my money. Can't keep winning these tournaments. My knees are on the fritz.
Yeah. So, yeah, he did not consent to a divorce for a very long time. So she was still married to Larry, and then she like, you know, starts a relationship with Alana. So it's kind of like the same thing where she's continuing to hide her like true self in her relationship, but she's still like married to Larry. So interesting. But you know, they eventually do get divorced, and it seemed pretty amicable, and they were like still friends, and she like was, you know, is godparents to his kids that he has with his second wife. So I think it all ended up okay.
Yeah. I mean, he still has his last name, right? King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So yeah. What else?
Oh, wait, who wrote this about Alana? That she
I did.
Oh, all right.
Yes.
Say it, Lydia.
So Alana is BGK's like current wife. They had been in a relationship for a really long time.
And she eventually puts her foot down and she's like, bruh, like, are we either
need to divorce
in or
Larry
out? Yeah.
now? Yeah.
Like, I'm done.
That was like after a while.
Yeah.
So they're still together, BJK and Alana. They're very active now, like very politically and socially active. You know, they do a lot of like philanthropy, fundraisers, etc. And I caught the fact that BJK is the manifester. So she said that she's like the big picture. She's got the vision. She's got the energy. And Alana is the generator. She's results oriented, you know, closes the deals and like finishes the job. So I thought the relationship
reminds
was
you of
cute.
you and Kyle's relationship.
Yes. Yes. So I'm the manifester and Kyle is the generator. So yeah, maybe we should get more active politically and socially. Yeah. And then, I thought this was hilarious. So Billie Jean and Alana finally get married in 2018. They do it like a super private ceremony at like a friend's apartment. And BJK wore a tracksuit and like a pearl necklace to the wedding. So funny.
I like
There's a photo of it. It's cute. So yeah, so they're still together, and doing their thing.
Fine.
Mhm. Yeah.
I
When
thought, can we talk about her health a little bit? Because I thought that was kind of
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah,
Sure.
Like,
agreed.
she didn't go a ton into it, but like, yeah, so basically they were broke. They lost all of their sponsorship money because of this lawsuit. Because, well, they had to pay back the lawyers as
Yeah.
part of the lawsuit, and then they also lost all the sponsor money. And so she had to go back on tour. And she has had 5 knee surgeries, which is
Yeah.
multiple foot surgeries, sinus, heel surgery. And like, I was just like, oh my God. And like throughout the book, she had a lot of like health issues too,
Hmm.
which was super fascinating. And I don't even know how she's alive.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, and then like too, so like her physical health was an issue. I mean, obviously when you're playing that much. And like she was like, I mean, literally playing so much. Like now I feel like it's a lot more. She truly didn't have like formal coaching. Like she was just like going out on her own. Didn't have a nutritionist or a trainer. So she like completely made up like everything for
Mhm.
herself in terms of like coaching and training.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And like tennis itself is like a super like mentally intense sport too, like especially since it's like a solo sport for a lot of the time if you're playing singles. And like she I think like she didn't talk about this enough, but she had like a really bad temper like on the court.
Yeah.
And she like threw matches, like quit games, would like go in the locker room and like throw her racket, like if she lost, like, that kind of stuff. Um, and she kind of gained like a reputation for that, but she didn't talk about it a lot.
Yeah, there was like a couple like times it was kind of mentioned like how she was like her mood kind of like affected like everyone around there. Like if she was in
Yeah.
a good mood, everyone was happy. If she was in a bad mood, like literally everyone like scattered and like
That's
Like
terrifying.
there was like one scene where Larry, like after she like lost a big game, Larry was like,
everyone
"Everyone
out.
out of the locker room! She's
Get
gonna
out
go
now.
ballistic." So yeah, um, which I think was like part of her competitiveness, but also just like she was dealing with a lot like internally, like
She
the
was.
internal struggle she was dealing with in terms of like hiding like her sexuality and like who she was, I think, and like her
Hmm.
relationships is a lot to deal with. And yeah, so
And like one of the ways that it manifested was with her eating disorder.
yeah.
So she Yeah, so she was like a binge eater basically. So she'd be really strict while she was on tournament or going on
Touring,
tournament
yeah.
on tour.
Hmm.
But then like after a game or whatever, she would like binge eat like 10 candy bars, and she had this obsession with ice cream. and then and then
Yeah,
she'd
she
be like
bringing
gain
it
a
up.
bunch of weight, and then she would like be
Go on a
extreme
diet, like
dieting and like
yeah.
that sort of thing. So she'd like fluctuate. And it wasn't until she went to therapy because Alana's like, you might need to take this is like
This
not
isn't
quite normal.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not healthy. And then she kind of learned that she's like was using food to like suppress her emotions and like her sexual orientation and like all that sort of things, like the trauma and all that sort of stuff. So
Yeah. And she goes to like, I don't know, it was like rehab basically, but like for eating
Yeah.
disorders, which was kind of
Yeah.
interesting. I found it like very interesting. Where she talked about, I mean, like changed her life completely. Like she was like a new person after it. But
Hmm.
they had to do like family therapy, which I was surprised she talked
Yeah.
about this, but like she like had to have her parents come in and she had to like come out like to her parents because her parents were like very much like pushed, anything regarding her sexual orientation like under the rug. Her mom was like, "We don't talk about this." Like
And would
I don't
just
want to
still
hear it.
ask her if she has had a boyfriend when she was like in her
Yeah.
like 50s. Like,
Yeah. Even though she was like dating Alana and like she had to like hide her relationship with Alana, and she was like, I can't do this anymore. So like I think that was like transformative in terms of like having her come out to her family and like not having to like hide her relationship anymore. So yeah, it was interesting. I think like I don't know, I didn't know like a ton about eating disorders. It was
yeah.
it's kind of glad she went into it in like a little more detail because she had like been alluding to it like the entire time.
Hmm.
But yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah. I like how she shared the like sweet moment with her dad in the hallway when like I don't know, when he was like looking at all the other like girls, like the teenage girls and was like, "You're not like these people, are you?" And then she was like, "Yeah, I am." And then he was like, "Oh." And then like they all like the family took it seriously then. That was sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, and he
Yeah.
was like give your mom more time, like she'll
She'll
come
come around.
around.
I
Yeah.
know.
Hmm.
That was
Which she
sweet. Like,
did.
oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, her parents, were very supportive of her tennis and then later became very supportive of her life outside of tennis, which was good. So yeah. Um yeah. What else we want to talk about? We want to talk about Title IX?
We can talk about that.
Sure.
Yeah, so that was also a big part of the book. That was passed, I think, in the 70s. But basically, it prohibited discrimination in sports or educational programs for any programs receiving federal assistance. So essentially, colleges and universities couldn't be discriminating in terms of like scholarships for like sports or like had to have like equal scholarship money or like teams for sports and educational programs, which was huge for women's sports. So yeah, that she talked about that quite a bit. I think she was kind of a big instigator of it, and I do think like the Battle of the Sexes game, kind of
Yeah.
helped put that on the radar.
I'm
So
confused. Did she help was she just advocating for it or did she like help come up with like the idea behind Title IX?
I think she was advocating for it. She didn't talk about being like in the room when it was drafted or anything like that, or part of like the negotiations in like the Senate. But she did talk like on like a Senate committee about
The
like women's
importance of it.
sports, yeah,
Hmm.
and the
Hmm.
importance of it. So she was like a big advocate for it. And I think she like met the people who drafted it and everything like that. Um, so yeah, super important legislation, pivotal for, especially college athletes, and female sports, which we all played sports, so we
Hmm.
all benefited
Oh,
True.
yeah.
from.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I think she said, I forgot what Olympics it was maybe it was the 88, but like after this legislation like was put in place, like US like women's sports like skyrocket. So like at the next Olympics, women like took gold in like everything. So it kind of
Yeah.
proved that like taking it seriously really helped like push the sports like forward basically.
Yeah,
Hmm.
for sure. And yeah, I think that was, the one of the biggest themes in the book was money in sports and professional sports and having it actually be a career and not just like
Yeah.
a hobby,
A hobby.
especially for women. But yeah, I thought it was cool that tennis players are the highest paid female athletes.
Yeah.
So she
I
championed
didn't know
that, which is
that.
awesome. And BJK was the first female athlete to make over $100,000 a year from being a pro
Female
athlete.
athlete.
Yes. And her first contract was for $1. So
Came a long
which is
way.
crazy.
Wait,
Yeah.
I didn't get that. That was just so females could like have a contract. Is that what the big deal was with that? Yeah.
Yeah. So like
Okay.
this is like a legal thing, but for a contract you need to have consideration, which is money. And it can be nominal sum. So it can be $1. So that's what they did. Because they didn't have any money.
And like part of it had to do with one of the tournaments at the time, like the US, I don't remember, the US something. They refused to pay women, basically. And she was like, fine, we'll form our own tennis tournament and it'll be at the same time as yours and we'll take all the money. And unless you make women's, like what they like,
The
the
prize
tournament,
money
like the
equal.
prize money,
Yeah.
equal. We're just like not gonna play, and so yeah, this kind of that started this whole movement for women to have equal, or at least make. I forgot there was a percentage they were like willing to have, like if it's like a
Yeah, to
third or
start.
like
Yeah.
until we can get to a place that is equal, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they did. They made their own tournament, and then they had to sell tickets and everything.
Yeah, and their first sponsor was Virginia Slims, which I thought
hilarious.
was interesting.
Cigarette company.
And they like BJK was like, I don't know how I feel about this, and they were like, do you want money or not? And she was like, yup, I do. Yeah, and I think like I mean, they eventually got, all these other sponsorships and stuff too, but yeah, she talked about the parallels as well with like the NCAA, and like more recently allowing like college athletes to have sponsorships and be like influencers and make money. Which kind of like cemented the shamateurism idea for me, because I kind of knew what she was talking about, but like it made more sense in the context of like how college athletes before like weren't allowed to like make money when they were playing in college, but now they can. And yeah, I think before I was kind of like, I don't know, did it kind of change your perspective on like college athletes making money, or did you guys think about that at all?
Not really.
You
Really?
supportive
I
of
don't
that? I don't know.
I know there's still like a lot of different sports. Does anyone know who like Alonia, what's her last name? Marker? Something like that. She's the rugby player that did Dancing with the Stars.
Oh yeah, Alana Mayer.
Oh, is that her last name?
I
Mayer?
think so.
Yeah, but like a big part
Mar.
of, I don't know. I was watching some YouTube videos about her, and like her biggest thing is that she like posts on like TikTok and Instagram because she's like the only basically rugby influencer, and hers is like the only team that gets like sponsored by things. And
Yeah.
like she says she is like one of the only like female like pros in rugby that's able to only do rugby. So,
Yeah.
as her like main like profession, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
know, she was just talking about how she like wants other like rugby female athletes to start becoming influencers so they can get sponsored
Yeah.
too, because they all have full-time jobs outside of rugby, which is
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
Which is crazy. But also, fun fact, Alana and her two other sisters have a podcast. So they're from a three-sister
Wow.
family, and they have a
Wow.
podcast.
It's fun.
So fun.
Wow, that is super fun.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know
But
that.
yeah, so now a lot of college athletes are becoming like influencers so that they can get
Yeah.
sponsorships.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So
The
there's like,
athlete
yeah.
influencer pipeline is real.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And there are like, it's like coaches who like now like really encourage them to do that so that they can get more money for the team. So it's kind of interesting. And another thing I wanted to mention was that like another parallel that I saw was like, so Margaret, who was like kind of, I don't know, she was kind of the villain of the story a little bit. I felt
Yeah,
like, it's like
Margaret was the worst.
Although Marilyn was definitely the worst.
Marilyn was the worst, but Margaret was like just like the like foil, I think, to BJK in terms of like like women fighting for like equal rights, especially in tennis. And so like Margaret like went out when she like had kids, and came back and was still like being like, oh, I don't think women deserve to like make as much
like,
as
what?
men, and like they should, and like promoting like the more like traditional like household values, but Margaret was the breadwinner at the time, and like her husband was taking care of the kids at home. So it just reminded me of like the trad wife like influencers now who like promote like traditional like family values, and that like women should stay
Mm-hmm.
home and like be in the kitchen, but like they're making so much money being influencers and their like husbands like aren't working.
Yeah.
Which is interesting that you still see like those things today. But yeah,
Yeah.
so we have
That is interesting.
some work to do. But yeah, so Margaret it
Was
the
not a
villain.
girl's girl. Margaret was not a girl's girl.
For the girls.
No, no.
So yeah.
Yeah. But another thing she talked about, and I resonated with this, tennis not being a team sport. She talked about, I think it was not a lot of people or not a lot of girls were playing tennis because it wasn't a team sport, and they um went off to make friends in different sports. So she worked to make tennis more of a team sport. I don't really know how, but made
Yeah,
it
she
more
like
of.
created a tournament herself where like everyone was like a team, and like you would get like points.
Yeah.
And like both men and women played on like the teams and stuff.
Yeah.
So trying to
yeah.
make it kind of reminded me of like basketball, but like having like a basketball like playoffs,
Co-ed
like,
basketball
yeah,
sort of thing.
Mhm,
yeah.
mhm. But that resonated with me because the reason why I quit tennis in high school was because it was not a team sport. It was like, I mean, it was. I guess I was on a team, but it's just yourself is out there. You're like fending for yourself, kind of like playing, which I didn't like at all. Yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's tough. It's like mentally challenging.
it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot of work. Tennis was a lot of work. It was so much running outside too. That was awful. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a tough sport.
Because did either of you play tennis growing up?
We did like the Parks and Rec like lessons.
Mm-hmm.
And I did lessons at the Village Club too. And I do
Oh.
lessons
Yeah.
now. So yeah. I'm trying to get into it. I'm inspired by this book.
She's
Oh, that's
motivated.
good. You were motivated. That
I'm
worked.
motivated. Yes.
It worked.
I want to play more tennis. So yeah, it is a tough sport though. Like she gets into that a lot in the book of like the mental gymnastics behind it. A lot of visualization.
Which
And
is
like really trying to
interesting,
get into like your opponent's head and stuff too, which is interesting.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, she ends the book, talking kind of, about present day or near present day and like her activism and like philanthropy and causes that she supports, like AIDS fundraising, women in business, LGBTQ rights. She does like a lot. Her and Alana are very involved like politically as well. And she also and she does a lot of coaching too, which I feel like is pretty normal for like pro athletes to become coaches later in life. But she coached the Williams sisters a little bit, which I thought was
Fun
that we got, because they changed the game of tennis as well. And yeah, so I forgot about this, but in 2001 it was the sisters showdown, the Venus versus Serena, and they were the first two Black players to oppose each other in a Grand Slam single, and Venus won. So
That'd be intense. Like to have
I
to
know.
like because
Play
you
your
know
sister?
your sister's like weaknesses and strengths, and like you have to like the mental like that rivalry. Oh my god.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
Yeah.
So who'd win in a Pinzak sister showdown?
in tennis.
Probably Lilli.
Lies is out first round.
I want to be able to get my serves in. If this is pickleball, maybe a different situation, but not tennis. I don't think I
Not
could do the
tennis.
serving.
Lilli always beats me in tennis. So
I haven't
could work
played
on
in
that.
so long though. The last time I played was with you, and that was 2 summers ago.
Yeah, so
Yeah, so
I'm gonna
maybe
get really
you.
good and beat you, Lily.
Ready for the sister showdown?
Yeah.
I'll be the ball
Yeah.
girl. I'll run around getting.
Perfect. You can be our coach. Squirt
Gosh.
like water in our mouths. Towel us off.
What is this, wrestling?
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Final thoughts on the book? Do you guys like it? Not like it? Too long?
If she shaved off like 100 pages somehow, that would have been perfect. There was just, I don't know what she would have cut out on, but just, I don't know. There needed to be a little less of something because it just got really long.
It was long.
It was
Lies?
Yeah.
long.
Thoughts?
No, it was a very good book. I stand with my statement that I would prefer it as a Netflix documentary,
Fair. Fair.
like
Fair,
watching it.
yeah.
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 Yeah. I liked the book. I think she's awesome. Very inspirational. And yeah, I agreed it was a little long, but I enjoyed it. And
Yeah.
I think it was a good history lesson as well. So
That's true. Yeah.
I like
True.
history. And yeah. So yeah. Anything else we want to discuss on the book, or we want to go on to the word of the month?
I think the word of the month.
I think it's time.
Let's do
I
it.
think it's time.
Let's do it. So the word
Okay.
was be mine
Be mine.
for Valentine's month.
Yes. Valentine's
Yeah.
month.
Valentine's month for February.
Valentine's month. All right, who's going first?
Yeah.
All right. I picked the book Hazelthorn by C.G. Drews. It's a YA fantasy. So Evander lives in Hazelthorn Estate with his reclusive billionaire guardian, as one does.
Of course. Totally.
Safety. Evander has been given 3 rules. He can never leave the estate, he can never go into the gardens, and most importantly, he can never be left alone with the guardian's charming, underachieving grandson, Lori. So when the guardian suddenly dies, Evander thinks that he's been murdered, and Lori is the only one who can help him solve it. So obviously they work together probably to solve the murder. That's what, and they fall in love. And I read Drew's previous book, Don't Let the Forest In, and it was weird and kind of wild, and like there was some pretty big plot twists that I did not see coming, and like I'm still like, wait, what was like it was just kind of like a wait, what kind of moment. And so I'm assuming there might be similar things in this book. And yeah, so the woods were giving this kind of like be mine, creepy kind of vibes. And I love a
Sure.
creepy woods situation. And there's like the two fall in love. So there is some romance too.
Some romance. Got it. Nice. Lydia, let's hear
Okay.
it.
My book pick is A Forbidden Alchemy by Stacey McEwen. It's a slow burn romantasy where a pair of people, two people, sorry, Nina and Patrick, they're 12 years old and they are whisked away from their disenfranchised mining towns to the dazzling Bellavere city to discover their magical potential. Those who pass Bellavere's test will become artisans who are wielders of powerful elemental magic to fulfill the city's grand ambitions. The other people who are not the artisans, they go back to the mining towns and work. So Nina becomes an artisan, and then the craftsmen, who are the people in the mining town, start to have an uprising years later, and Nina and Patrick are in opposing factions in a brewing class war. So Nina has to figure out what she can do to save the day. And it's giving Hunger Games. And I know Lily likes Hunger Games,
Hunger Games, yeah,
so yeah.
I do.
One of my my romantic book club, they picked this book, so it's probably very good. I'm excited to read it.
What is it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, on that note, I was actually going to pick yours, Liza. Unless we all want to read Lydia's, then I'm for that. I just am interested in the reclusive billionaire guardian
Situation.
Yeah. I don't know. Thoughts, ladies? I mean, if we heard that Lydia's pick is a really good book, then we can.
I don't know.
You pick, Lily.
I don't know which one is better. I'm sure they're both very good.
Okay, then I pick Liza's. Then.
Okay. Maybe I'll read the other one, and well, Liza's gonna read it anyways, I guess, so she can give us an update.
Tell us.
I can give you an update if it's worth reading.
Exactly.
Understood.
Okay. Hazelthorn.
Hazelthorn.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Cool.
I'm excited. It's gonna be a little dark and a little creepy. But it's fun. It's kind of wintry, you know?
Wintry, sure.
Okay.
In the Be Mine kind of way. Kind of dark, kind of creepy, like Be Mine.
Yeah.
Be
Yeah.
mine. Okay.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
And the new word.
Is, okay. It's a phrase. It's give me the tea. Like British tea, because I'm in London. So I just kind of want to get everyone in that spirit. So I kind of would like to hear about books set in the UK. Maybe they mention London vibes. Maybe like Oxford vibes, dark academia, I don't know, drama, or like cute London.
Oh,
Give me the
Like,
tea.
fantasy. Like there's a lot of fantasy here, like Harry Potter. Like, I don't know. You could take it any route you want.
Okay.
Yeah. Give me the tea.
What about a mystery?
there's
Yeah,
a lot
that
of
gives,
mystery. Sherlock
like
Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of books with tea in the title, too.
There are a lot of books
Okay,
with tea in
good,
the title.
Liza.
I almost picked a book with tea in the title for this round, so I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah.
Lydia already might have a pick. There you go.
It's not set in London, though, I don't think, but that's okay.
It doesn't have to be set in London. Just like the vibe needs to be there.
Okay.
Um,
London
yeah.
vibes. Got it.
London vibes, UK vibes.
Sweet.
Yes, I'm here for it. Get us
Too.
prepared to visit.
Prepared, yes. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Lily, why don't you finish us off?
Okay. Thanks so much for listening to episode 16. If you want a shout out, leave a comment or review. You can find us at Instagram at letsgetcozybookclub or email us at letsgetcozybookclub@gmail.com. We'd love to connect with you. Join us in a few weeks for a check-in where we give you our initial thoughts on Hazelthorn by C.G. Drew. Until then,
Stay cozy.
why do you do it so long?
I don't know.
Liza, just say it. Stay cozy.
Just say it.
Stay cozy.
Yeah, stay cozy.
Oh, you're
Stay
saying
cozy.
I was the one that did it? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, you do it every time.
Oh.
You ruin it every
My
time.